Chapter 9. The interrupted weekend at the doctor's salon. Gasp, and we even know which one the doctor is. It's you! You're the doctor! What's going on here, guys? Boy, this is a busy-ass room. Who is this funny blue-haired man? Look at his funny hair. It's definitely not real. Is that the murder man from the 700 chapters ago? What a dense room of people. Are you a barber? They're very funny scissors. Are they scissors? Hello. Tea house, croquet field, chess house, library, salon, flower beds, fountain. Here's our layout. There's the library. This is the salon. It's just two rooms next to each other. Psychoactive plants. Drugged symptoms. Spotty onion. An illusion of unity with the universe. Increased appetite. Hiccups. Black poppy. Sleepiness. Whites of the eyes get a pink tint. Lemurian lichen. Hyper concentration on one thing. Loss of perception of time. Rapid blinking. Math. Red berry. Surge of activity. Vocalization of all of your thoughts. Twitching. Aggression. The seals of the 12 Lemurian clans. Ah. Some of these are the symbols from the staff, aren't they? There's a missing boomerang. There's a missing boomerang! A boomerang did it! A fucking boomerang! Definitely the new sexy. A full glass of sherry. An almost empty glass of sherry. Gasp. Pretty sure a boomerang did it though. Because there's blood on a boomerang. It's kind of hiding behind the exploring thinking interface, but I think the boomerang did it. What's he holding? He's holding a thingy? I don't know what he's holding. A button. Is someone gonna be missing a button visibly? Maybe? But a boomerang is a ranged weapon, so they wouldn't have gotten the button from that person. May 8th, 1792. I'm just so used to saying 19 at the beginning of dates, because that's most of history in which people have been alive. I remember being a 9-year-old and lamenting that my whole life so far, all dates were always 1990 something, and so you'd always say like 92, 93, 98, and so on. That was just kind of like a nice, I got so used to dates being 90 something, and that was the abbreviation, that I was lamenting the fact that it was when I was 10, it was going to become the year 2000, and then we were going to have to start saying 2001 and 2002, and that was just objectively, clearly worse and more annoying to say to my 9-year-old self than 98, 99. Like, that's just worse years. So anyway, it's 2023 now. It's been my whole fucking life. Incredibly irrelevant thing. Just weird elementary school memory of that. Once upon a time, this mattered to me. Speaking of which, living through the Y2K thing and not actually understanding what the Y2K thing was, because nobody understood what the Y2K thing was. It was all miscommunicated, and basically, people started acting like the world was just gonna end, as if for no reason, just explode or some shit. I don't know, like just vague apocalypse stuff. And as a kid, I especially did not have any understanding of the apocalypse stuff. But I remember that the millennium happened while like my family was in Vegas for it, which is a somewhat strange place to be when you're like 10. Because there's not much, I guess I was 9 still, because I would have turned 10 in the year 2000. Not a lot of fun stuff to do there besides the shows that are very occasional, because if you were at shows the entire weekend, that's an incredible expense the entire time. But I specifically remember walking the casino hall from some place to some place, holding my mom's hand, and like outsmarting the millennium in real time, according to me. Like my dumb child brain was like, hang on a minute, how can the millennium be the end of the world if we have time zones? Like we would have heard by now that like something happened in like Australia or whatever, in Japan. Like we're coming up on the, like, because he had this vague anxiety as a kid that the end of the world's gonna happen soon, in the next few hours. What does that mean? And I outsmarted it because I'm like, haha, the year 2000 has already started over in the other parts of the world, because we're all the way in California, or Nevada in this case, but we're all the way in we're one of the last people to experience time as far as the day-night cycle goes, and our arbitrary split of where the day split, whatever the fuck it's called, the thing is called in the middle of the ocean, which is why all my streams have low viewership. It's not just that I'm a bad streamer, it's that whenever I do stream in the evening, it's my evening where everyone else is already asleep. If I stream long enough, the people in the UK wake up. It's not great. It's a bad time zone for streaming. You guys stream sooner. We won't do that. But yeah, I'm like, haha, I've solved the riddle. I'm too smart for the apocalypse. If the world was gonna end, we'd have already heard about the world ending over there. Which is funny, like this idea that the world wouldn't just end simultaneously across the board at one specific time, but like it would end the moment your local area became midnight of the millennium, even though we made up the millennium. Then again, yeah, we did make up we made up the day-night split and time zones, but we also made up the millennium itself. So I guess if one's man-made, then the other is man-made. So if any of it's going to be indicative, I guess all the rules will still apply. So yeah, I was actually really smart. The world was gonna get peeled like an orange, I guess, if the world was gonna end, like just time zone by time zone. Boy, that'd be a really alarming day if Australia and Japan just immediately got obliterated, and then you're like, I guess this is happening, and just like hour by hour, it's just counting down. You just start fleeing west. It doesn't work out. Do you enjoy this tangent? This all came from me thinking about elementary school thoughts about the year, I guess. Dear friend, the elections are over, so let's uphold tradition and have a leisurely weekend. At my place with you and Leopold to discuss the Prime Minister situation. Please join us on May 12th. Kindly confirm your presence, Dr. James Turner. I guess I should specify that the Y2K thing was real. It was a huge computer problem that was going to be an issue that was going to disrupt all sorts of systems around the world, but just a massive amount of work was put in to solve the problem preemptively, and so nothing ever happened, which made people think that, which then made the narrative be that the whole thing was a hoax, because frankly nobody understood what the problem was supposed to be in the first place. And when you successfully work massively to actually prevent a problem for once, which almost never happens in mankind, we're really bad about that. But whenever you do actually prevent a problem, it then becomes, the narrative then becomes that the problem never existed. And so no one is really thanked for solving the problem, and it becomes just another one of those hoax things that people then use to reinforce the idea that other stuff is hoaxes, even though it was definitely real and people just actually solved the problem for once. Which is frustrating, because like in a world of like climate change and a bunch and COVID and so many other problems, like we actively deny problems that are provably in front of us for as long as possible until after it's already a problem, and then probably indefinitely after that until we're basically forced to react to it, and we usually do that way too late. And so when we actually solve a problem preemptively for once, it's very frustrating that it then becomes part of the narrative about why things that people get alarmed about are actually fake and not real. Doubly so in the case of this being something that's framed as apocalyptic, which, yes, things framed as apocalyptic are constantly hoaxes. I remember all the memes that Macho Man Randy Savage, back when I worked at Best Buy, like a decade ago, Macho Man Randy Savage died just in time to save us from the apocalypse that was made up by some random people, because that was like nonsense apocalypse stuff tied to religion that is just like arbitrary doomsday stuff that they just build up to, and then it happens, and then it's like, see, day came and went, nothing happened. And they did not all come together to prevent the apocalypse. They were, in fact, their religions want it to happen because it's supposed to be the good thing. It's the end of days that's supposed to be their salvation and everything. So a lot of signals get mixed. It was very interesting for me to learn about Y2K because I swear to God, it took me like almost 20 years to learn about it after it happened. And it should have been a lot faster than that. Like the fact that I had no idea that it was actually a real deal thing that was just massively misrepresented. This has been my TED talk. It wasn't a good one. Anyway, the elections are over, so let's uphold tradition and have a leisurely weekend at my place with you and Leopold to discuss the Prime Minister situation. Please join us on May 12th. Kindly confirm your presence, Dr. James Turner. So James Turner is the host, and he invited everybody here to chill. Also, if I remember correctly, James Turner was the doctor. So the doctor is now hosting. I haven't clicked on him yet. There. I don't have the name James Turner yet. I can't collect it from this letter that says James Turner. I just want to. I know he's James Turner. Let me put it in there. Clean the small sword. Listen, apologies for the shouting match yesterday. Let's continue our discussion at noon. Leo. You and Leo. So Turner invited this guy and Leopold. This man is not breathing and has a huge vertical wound in his forehead. Huge. He had a sword. A gun on the ground. Which one of y'all's Leopold? Ha! Leopold, your plan to frame Patu is sublime, but your missing button is more than enough proof that you did it. Constable, please escort this man out. So he's got the missing button that I noticed. A clean doctor's scalpel. He's also got a clean sword. You have the missing button? James, this is preposterous. You know damn well that he was killed by that Lemurian savage. Not getting any bonus points for me with the racism. Alright, so this is Leopold. How do I collect names? I don't have any names. I want to put the names in. Dear friend, now that the elections are over, please join me in leisurely weekend at my manor with good old Augustus and some other fine fellows. We will have some drinks and discuss what to do about Prime Minister position. So our names are Leopold and Augustus. Did you do... it's on the floor. The dumped cherry. Oh! Take me back. I don't want to... Let's not delve that right now. This is such a mess. However, we will clean the blood out of the rug. Cool. Very invested. Oh, he's got black poppy. Milk of the poppy. Oh lord, I did not expect something like this in our household. Slightly grassy garden shears. Oh, he's a gardener. This is outrageous. I thought you were an honorable man, Leopold, not some, Aquitanian agent trying to sabotage our friendly relations with Lemuria and provoke a conflict. Everyone's got a ring and a sword. Not everyone has a ring. So Leopold is not a member of the cult, but he is high. These two are members of the cult. Is he a member of the cult? No. They might. These guys might have planned this. So these two might be framing him on purpose, because I don't trust anyone in this cult, frankly. He stole his life, just like that. The doctor is a smart man, since he saw through his lies. Dear friend, at one of the balls you said that you would love to meet someone actually interesting. I am having a weekend of drinks at my manor, and a prince from the 11th clan of Lemuria will be joining us. Please do us the honor of your company too. Kindly confirm your presence, Dr. James Turner. I hope the host did not notice me when he was leaning over the sleeping eye patch gentleman. I hope the host did not notice me when he was leaning over the sleeping eye patch gentleman. What? A clean Lemurian war club. So that's where you hold it, I guess, and that's the club end, and that just kind of sticks out. I don't think that's I don't think it's statue shaped. Spicy smelling ornamental box. Brown stone slate seal. Is that missing from up here? The 12 Lemurian clans. What do you have that? Eye patch. Dear Prince, as you know, I am a great aficionado of Lemurian culture. It would be my pleasure to invite a member of the two clan to spend a leisurely weekend at my estate with some of our political dignitaries. Kindly confirm your presence, Dr. James Turner. None of these letters have names in them. That's infuriating. Dear Prince, I heard that you got invited to a party by the director of the Seven Seas Company himself. I know you hate associating with these invaders and thieves, but this might be just the opportunity to seek to reclaim our honor. Is he just here to steal this tile? Then I guess he might have rearranged them to make it look normal instead of having an obviously empty one, a missing one. One of these guys. Oh God, believe me, my lord, I do not feel comfortable arresting a prime ministerial candidate, but I must ask you to follow me. Testimonies, holy shit. Leopold claims that he had a glass of sherry with James in the library and became drowsy. As he was falling asleep, he saw the Lemurian observing him through the glass door. He woke up, found the butler on the floor, asleep. Woke up the butler, entered the salon and found the body. Upon inspecting the weapon, deduced that Lemurian was the murderer, instructed the butler to raise the alarm. This is Gideon. Claims that he played croquet with Aragon in the morning. They got bored and went to drink tea in the tea house. Aragon drew his attention to the interesting design of the chess house. Saw Lord Alistair Coke lecture the butler. Saw Master Turner come to the chess house and send the butler away, just as Aragon was remarking on the beauty of the chess house. Saw Lord Alistair leave the chess house and return shortly afterwards. We're going to be revisiting this a lot, aren't we? I think this is going to be a big one. This is so many characters to try to even name that I'm reminded of previous struggles. And then this is just a lot of testimonies where I don't know these characters' names, so I can't even parse what most of this means. Slightly difficult to understand what he says. Potentially, Aragon. Potentially because he has challenges with our language, claims that everything young Master Bell says is absolutely correct. Who's Master Bell, though? Those are first names only, you fucks. James. Claims that he drank a glass of sour sherry with Blanchard in the library in the morning. Then he went to the chess house where he found Lord Alistair and the butler. Ordered the butler to clean up the library and get rid of the bad sherry. Spent the rest of the time playing chess with Alistair until the alarm was raised. NB. As the master of the house, he led the interrogation of the subjects. NB. What does NB mean? Alistair. Claims that in the morning he practiced chess at the chess house and educated the butler on his lack of military training. Sometime in the afternoon, Dr. Turner arrived and sent the butler away. They played together and he was very close to winning when the alarm was raised. Podrick claims that he served Lord Alistair in the chess house in the morning. His master arrived and instructed him to dispose of the spoilt sherry that he and Lord Leopold had drunk, and then go to assist Mr. Spade in the garden. Upon entering the library to take away the glass, found Lord Leopold asleep. Suddenly he was overcome by dizziness and fainted due to his weak heart. Was woken by Lord Leopold and instructed to raise the alarm. He then saw the deceased lying in the salon. So he just passed out in the same room, which is similarly suspicious. This is Billiam. Claims that he planted and pruned all morning. So his name, Billiam Spade, I think was his first and last name, right? Planted and pruned all morning by the chrysanthemum bush. Saw the young gentleman and the foreigner leave the croquet and go behind the manor. In the afternoon, moved to the rose bush. From there, Lord Augustus... From there, saw Lord Augustus leave the fountain around noon. Continued his work on the roses until the alarm was raised by Mr. Hill. Mr. Spade. Billiam Spade. Alright, that's one person down. And then... I think you were Turner? I'm just gonna review. I'm so bad with names. James Turner, Alistair Koch. So James Turner. Alistair Koch. Alright, that's 3 down. That's a start. You're apparently named 2. I don't think we have a last name yet. Everything else is going to take a bit more parsing based on who people are. Location of each suspect when the body was found. They have sub-names to keep them straight. The Loyalist? Oh, eye patch, okay. The Prince? Young man's easy with the blue hair. I know that James Turner's the doctor. The gardener is Billiam Spade. As far as we know, he was still in the flower beds. Yeah. So he was just the gardener and was just gardening. As far as we know. I don't know if anyone had an eye on them the whole time. But as I get more of the names straight, I should be able to work with that more. Anything to inspect in this room? Door? Also goes outside. Chrysanthemum bushes. Rose bushes. The chrysanthemums are by the murder scene, and the rose bushes are the way over here. Oh. Both of these lead back inside? But this is a huge house, and this room isn't very big, right? But I guess I'm supposed to just accept that this interior is the entire building. Because that's the library, and that's the salon, and that's the entire area. There's just a little entryway over here. Which matches up with this being the inside, and that being the other way. And this might be a little, like, greenhouse or a mud room. 2 cups of spicy smelling tea. One is almost empty, the other untouched. There's the chess gazebo. That's the last name. London Gazetteer, May 11th, 1792. Who will be the new Prime Minister? New Order Party, moderates, loyalists. New Order Party's on a chick, Loyalists are on a griffin, moderates are on a Pegasus, and then there's a little running seat. I guess that's the seat of the Prime Minister. What is this political cartoon? The New Order party have the most MPs, but it's clear the two old parties will form a coalition. This means either loyalist leader Blanchard or moderate leader Valentine will become the prime minister, leaving Lazarus Hearst and his party in opposition. So they want Lazarus to become the new... They want Lazarus Hearst to become the new prime minister, so they're trying to do something after one of the other candidates to get rid of this coalition that's going to defeat them otherwise, I believe. And Lazarus Hearst is not here, so he's not one of the names. I think these are mostly new people. Loyalist leader Blanchard. This guy's name is Blanchard, so he's the candidate. They're trying to frame him for murder, because then they can change the result of the election. I don't necessarily have evidence he's being framed yet. It's just narratively, like, that's why this kind of murder would happen in this kind of story with the cult and everything. Is that they would want to frame him because this, otherwise why introduce this narrative? Like, in a world of fiction, you can assume that this is relevant and is motivation. Or it's a red herring, but probably not. In real life, that does not count as evidence. An unfinished croquet match on a grass field. Okay, so the Lemurian is the prince. We have every name. Ergen has struggle. So Ergen struggles with English. So Ergen is likely the name of 2. Ergen 2? I guess those are 2 clans. That's probably the last name. Let's see. So Leopold. Woke up, found the butler on the floor asleep. Woke up the butler, entered the salon and found the body. Upon inspecting the weapon, deduced the Lemurian was the murderer. So this is the person accusing the Lemurian. So this is the candidate. And so his name is Leopold. Boop. Okay. So then you were in the salon. You were in the salon when the body was found because you're the one that is said to have found the body. Woke up the butler. The butler was in the library. Was it Podrick? On entering the library to take away the glasses, found Lord Leopold asleep. Suddenly was overcome by dizziness and fainted due to his weak heart. So the current story is that they were both asleep in the library at some point, and then he was killed. That makes me think that the sherry was drugged. Yeah, one of them had a full glass, the other one had an empty glass. I think somebody tricked him into drinking drugged sherry. Let's see. Sleepiness. Whites of the eyes become yeah. So somebody used milk of the poppy to drug Leopold. That's going to come up in this part on the left here.